up, everybody? My name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about We Are All So Good at Smiling by Amber McBride. Last year I read Me Moth by Amber McBride and I was really into it. It was one of my favorite reads of the year, and when I heard about We Are All So Good at Smiling, I definitely wanted to give it a look. And when you read the audiobooks for an Amber McBride book, she reads them, like she's the narrator for it, which is amazing because all of her books are told in verse. So that was really, really cool to see. We Are Also Good at Smiling is a fairy tale look on what it's like to live with clinical depression. You are introduced to this girl named Whimsy. She's currently at like a psych ward recovering from something that had happened to her. She's released. She meets this boy named Fairy, and together they venture into these woods that they are both so unbelievably terrified of, and they meet all of these characters from these legendary fairy tales along the way. Concept-wise, I think this book was really cool. Like, I love this idea. I love the way that she almost like personified what it feels like to have like this clinical depression, and the way she set up like this lurking, sad, haunted forest that they have to venture in. It feels like they're there for so much longer than they actually are. Like, all of that was really interesting. I like the way that she played with the fairy tales, but I will say, like, the story itself didn't really do it for me. I did like Whimsy as a character, but I felt like we never really got to spend like too much time with her, which seems weird because like she's the main character, she's narrating the story, but she didn't feel quite tangible. Like, everything in this felt very like light and out of reach, which I wish it had felt a little bit more grounded dealing with that subject matter. Of course, this is a fairy tale with a main character named Whimsy, so I guess it does make sense, but the secondary character, Fairy, again, like if Whimsy felt out of reach, Fairy felt extremely out of reach. I was never really able to get a good read on him or like identify with him or what was going on. And it wasn't really until the end where I kind of felt like, okay, like I'm in this, I feel grounded, like I'm excited to see where this is going, and then it's over. So I do wish that as a whole, the book had allowed me to feel more a part of the story, which again, like it's supposed to have that fairy tale quality, so I get it, but it just makes it really hard to relate to these characters and where they're going, especially when the subject matter is so deep and it is so heavy, so you kind of want to feel those emotions just a little bit more. Ultimately, I am giving this book a C+. I think it was really interesting. I think the subject matter was something that she handled really well. I think the way that she did kind of this like original fairy tale story was really fascinating. The way that it kind of blended in with the normal world was very interesting, but as a whole, it just didn't really wow me, and I found myself just constantly like waiting for something to happen. I found myself constantly waiting for like these dots to be connected, and I do think that just it wasn't quite what I was wanting to be. I was expecting a lot from this book because I loved her others so much, but that doesn't mean that this book is necessarily bad. It just really wasn't up to my expectations. So I'm not sure if I would recommend it. I definitely think it's interesting and worth a look, but just not one of my favorites. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to Top Books with me every week. That's everything I got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.